Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Winnie King, and I want to invite you to my show, the Dr. Winnie King Show, every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're going to talk about everything that's your health and wellness on 1230 KCOH The Source. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Winnie King, and I want to invite you to my show, the Dr. Winnie King Show, every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're going to talk about everything that's your health and wellness on 1230 KCOH The Source. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Winnie King, and I want to invite you to my show, the Dr. Winnie King Show, every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're going to talk about everything that's your health and wellness on 1230 KCOH The Source. Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Winnie King, and I want to invite you to my show, the Dr. Winnie King Show, every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. We're going to talk about everything that's your health and wellness on 1230 KCOH The Source.
One 6,000. Credit.
All right. It is that time to be educated and entertained. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring to you Dr. Winnie King.
More I get, more I want, more I get.
Hey, everybody. It's that time. I'm Dr. Winnie King, and you are listening to the Dr. Winnie King Show. And thank you so much, Mr. Chatterbox, for that intro. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. We're going to be talking about hair today. Hair. Those of you that have hair, we're going to talk about keeping it. And those of you that don't, we're going to talk about getting some of it back. This is going to be a fun show today, and I'm excited that you guys have tuned in. Let me give you a number to call if you have a question about our topic, hair, or if you have a topic that you want to speak on or you want me to talk about, just give us a call. The number to call is 713-668-1230. Again, that number is 713-668-1230. And I'm going to give you my office number too, because if you have a question, you want to see me in person, and many of you have done just that, I'd be happy to see you. The number to call is 936-224-7990. Again, that number is 936-224-7990. We'd be happy to see you and talk with you about your concerns and what it is that you need in order to make your life healthier and better. Now, I'm joined by a very special guest on the show today, and I've spoken about her before in the past, and she's actually called in and spoken about hair services. And now that the hair salon in my medical office is up and running, she is here in the studio with me. I want to introduce you guys to Miss Brenda Nelson. Hey, Brenda.
Hello.
I'm so glad that you are here because we're going to be talking about hair.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. You've got a passion for hair, and that started very early in your life. Tell us about that. What happened?
Yes, it did. I've had a passion for hair for quite some time. Hair loss has basically ran in my family since on my both sides of the family, my mother and my father. But at an early age of around 14, I started having some issues with my hair loss. Yeah. And so I've dealt with that for years, and it became a very, very passionate thing for me to work with people with issues like that.
And because of your hair loss, you then got into the business of understanding how to fashion wigs and, things that would help with your appearance.
Correct.
At 14, losing your hair, that's tough. I mean, it's tough at any age, but when you're a young girl, that's really hard. And I say that because I know there are people out there listening who've been through the same thing.
Exactly.
And they need to know that we have an understanding of this and an empathy and a compassion
of empathy.
Yes, people that have been through this, because it's tough. Now, the reality is that most everybody's going to lose their hair as they age. It's just a natural part of aging.
Correct.
And some people experience it at an earlier age. I remember young men when I was in high school that were going bald.
Right.
They were 18 years old losing their hair. And it was horrifying for them and embarrassing. And they didn't quite know what to do. And back in those days, there really wasn't much that you could do.
Right. And then the education, now I remember back then, I mean, it wasn't that I just was like bald then, but I was starting to thin.
Yes.
And I was wondering what it was. I didn't know if it was, hormones or what it could be. But, back then they just didn't put a lot of effort into it. But just over the years, I remember my very first weave I got, I was just so floored because I looked like one of the Supremes. It was just too much hair. And that's why I've took a lot of time and just trying to, perfect that thing and make it look as natural as possible.
Yes. Well, and that's the big worry, because you don't want to go around looking like Aunt Esther.
Exactly.
And for those of you out there that are, Shadowbox is laughing, I mean, back when I was a little girl, they used to make plastic wigs that were like molded out of plastic. And that's what her hair looked like on, Sanford and Sons. Oh, on Esther. We're not trying to have that look anymore. Those days are long gone. And
exactly.
There's so much that can be done now to really help. And let me just give you sort of a background about how this whole thing came about, because I don't think there have been many doctors that have a full service hair salon in their office the way I do.
I don't think there is either.
And there's a reason for that. As many of you know, my whole approach to medicine is about healthy living, about aesthetics, about wellness, about beauty. And one of the services that I offer is hair restoration, where we use a machine to take a look at your scalp, look to see if you've got active open follicles, because that's where hair grows from. No follicles, no hair growth.
Exactly.
Period. End of story. But when you do have follicles, I can help those follicles start growing hair again by using something called PRP, and that stands for platelet-rich plasma. This is something that we harvest from your blood. So we draw just a tube of blood and spin it in a centrifuge, and we suck off those stem cells out of your blood, and we inject that into your scalp. Now, of course, we use things to make it so that it's not painful, but we can also inject ozone into the scalp and exosomes and serums that help stimulate growth with certain vitamins that we know are in there. Things that block the conversion of testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, which is the form of testosterone testosterone that breaks down the hair follicle. So there's all kinds of things that I do on my medical side. But then once these folks are taken care of from my perspective, I wanted to make sure that they were going to a stylist that knew how to take care of hair so that all my efforts weren't gone to waste. And so that's what I said, aha, I'm going to open up my own hair salon in my own office. And that's what we did. Exactly. And so we now have the hair salon that's open for service right now, full service. Brenda is the salon manager. And let me give you the phone number to the hair salon so that you can call if you have questions for her. You can book an appointment by phone. We're getting the online booking system set up. It'll probably be up and ready in about a week or so. But in the meantime, you can just call. She's already starting to see clients there. The number to call is 936-235-HAIR, HAIR, and that corresponds to 4247. So let me give it to you again. It's 936-235-HAIR, HAIR, and that is 4247. Last time, 936-235-4247. You can speak with Brenda and set up an appointment. We provide regular hair care. If you just simply want to have a shampoo and condition and a cut, we can do that. If you are looking to have some type of device made, a wig, if you need tape-ins or weaves, we do all of those things. Wigs, exactly. And also for men, if a man, that's a really, really big one. A lot of guys are walking around with that bald spot, you know, in the back of their, the top of their head, and they want to get that covered because, you know, it is amazing. It is how different they look when you put that install in there. And so you literally make what back in the old days they used to call like a toupee. Now they call it
well, they have it's a prosthetic man weaves. They got different names for it, but they have different techniques as well. They have different bases. You have the monolay, you have the lace. I do perform that same particular style on my son. He's one of my models, but I absolutely love it. And he loves it too. He does. He's obsessed.
Yes, because he's a young guy.
He is.
But yet he's lost his hair at the top.
And he refused to walk around like his brothers. He said, it's just not for me. And I told him, well, you have options.
Yes.
You have options.
Well, and that's what we want folks to know out there is that there are options. And if you're losing your hair, you have options. You don't have to sit out there and, you know, and just suffer and have people put 10 years on your age simply because, you know, of the loss of hair. Okay, we've got our first caller on the line. Hi, caller. How are you? Hey, caller, can you hear us?
Yeah, my question is, do y'all do like braids for men?
No, we don't do braids. I know there are a lot of places out there that offer braids, but no, we don't do braids. It's just, you know, there's nothing wrong with braids. We like them, but that's not a service that we offer.
Okay, and my second question is with the kombucha, the drink that you told us about months ago.
Kombucha?
Can you please go over the benefits of taking that? I think you said gut health or something, but I'll hang up and listen. Thank you, doctor.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, kombucha is a fermented drink that you can either make at home, although you have to buy a thing that looks almost like a plant. It's called the mother. And then you let it ferment over time, mixing it with tea. I've done it. I've actually done this myself and made the tea and made my own kombucha, but it's way, way easier to just go to the grocery store into the healthy living section and buy it yourself. You can get it. I've seen it at just about every grocery store in Houston, whether it's HEB, Kroger, Walmart, and it's spelled KOMBUCHA, okay? KOMBUCHA. Now, what this has is a lot of enzymes in there that are very, very good for the gut. And so for people who struggle with gut issues, kombucha is a very nice drink. It's fermented. It's got kind of a tangy little taste to it. They usually put some kind of flavor in it, but it tastes good. I mean, it's not a bad taste, but it's definitely kind of a fermented. It has sort of a little zest to it, a little sparkle to it, but it's very, very good for your gut. in terms of gut health. And as you all know, if you listen to this show on a regular basis, I'm always screaming about the value of gut health, because our gut is where most of our neurotransmitters are made. And the neurotransmitters are very important. In particular, they're important for your mental health. You know, the serotonins and dopamines and norepinephrines, all of those are neurotransmitters, and they affect your mentation, your mind, the way you feel, the way you think. And so if you have a poorly functioning gut, it's going to impact the gut's ability to make those neurotransmitters. It's not unusual for a person to struggle with anxiety and depression because their neurotransmitters are low, and they simply can reverse that by improving their gut health. And drinking kombucha is one of the ways to do that. A good rock solid probiotic is also another way that you can do that. But you know, I want to kind of shift back to the hair, because hair is so important in terms of self-esteem. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell you the number of times I've had people in my office, particularly women, who have just broken down and cried because they're so hurt over the loss of their hair. Okay. And they just don't know what to do. They're embarrassed. So many of them have never allowed their husbands to see their hair, their natural hair, because they're embarrassed. And my salon is designed to help fix that. Whether it's helping you to grow hair back so that you have enough hair to have your own style, and or giving you some type of install, whether it's a wig, you know, a weave, that's going to help you have the appearance that you want.
Right. And our systems, excuse me, will actually, they'll be great for those who are candidates to receive treatment, you know, and if you want to, you can still look good while you know,
absolutely.
Treatments. We have glueless units. Mm-hmm. We have those that if you want to, you know, activate as if it's your hair, you can, you know, adhere it to your scalp. Right. Just different. There are different ones. We'll just have to see which candidate, you know, what works best for you.
Right. And we're not going to let you leave out there looking crazy. Right. You know, we know how to craft something that's going to be flattering to you. Our goal is really to create a look that people believe.
Just realistic.
That is very realistic, and that you can feel good about yourself. You know, we have nothing but compassion for people, and we have a private room so that you don't have to be out there where everybody's looking at your scalp and whispering and talking. And, you know, we don't believe in that. You know, I'm a real big stickler for patient privacy and for respect, you know, of a patient. But we do pretty much all of it except for braids. You know, we don't do the braids. And, you know, the thing also, Brenda, that is so important, and one of the reasons why I really love working with you, is that we want to take care of your hair. Exactly. We want to preserve it, we want to restore it, and we want to protect it. And so even if you're not really experiencing a lot of hair loss, we want to get to you now before you start experiencing hair loss. Yes. You know, there's the protocol for taking care of people who have lost hair, of course, but then we also have ways of helping you to not lose your hair. And boy, I tell you, as I got older, I started losing hair, and had I known what was going to happen, I would have been so much more careful with my hair back when I had a big old thick head of hair, that I remember being annoyed with how thick my hair was, because I had to comb it and it was just such a pain in the butt.
Right. Not knowing later on, you'd be like, where's that
hair at? You know? So, you know, when you are enjoying that full head of hair, there are things you need to know that will take care of it. Right. Because, you know, so often you're so focused on the style. I want to just look good right at that moment, until you're willing to do anything. You know, you get a curling iron and burn the crap out of your hair, or a pressing comb and just put all that heat on your hair, you know, and you may look good at that moment, but you have done some really serious damage to that hair.
Exactly.
And then the braiding also, we see a lot of that, what we call traction alopecia. Can you talk about that, how that happens?
Well, traction alopecia happens to a lot of people when they're getting their hair braids. A lot of women wear braids. You know, I do sew-ins as well. I braid, but I do not do all that friction, all that pulling, because when you have to go back in and secure the base with the thread, there's some additional pulling. So I try to keep it as comfortable as possible, but you have a lot of women they've pulled till they pulled the bulb and everything out, so that's and then you got scarring issues and things like that. And that's why also I think it's important to keep the health of the scalp just as well as the health of the hair.
Right.
You have to keep that scalp clean and in good condition as well.
That's exactly right. It's so multifactorial. There are, and this is what Brenda is so good at. We have hair vitamins, hair serums. We put together a package of things for you that you need. But stress is also a big one. If you're under a lot of stress, that can cause you to shed your hair. We're going to explore that. When you do a consultation with me, that's what we're going to get into. We're going to look at your vitamins to see, your vitamin D level. Look at your thyroid hormone level. If you've got an underactive thyroid, you're going to start losing your hair.
Exactly.
And so we can do everything right, but if we don't address that problem, then you're still going to continue to shed your hair. So the hair salon is very exciting for me. It's called the Winnie King MD Salon, and it's located right in my office at 14637 Pebble Bend Drive, and that's in Houston. Again, that is 14637 Pebble Bend Drive in Houston. And I'm going to give you the number to the hair salon again. It's 936-235-4247. And again, 936-235-4247. Call and schedule a meeting with me and with Brenda so we can take a look at your scalp. There's just such value in having a place that you can go, that you can rely on. We're not kitchen beauticians here just trying to, slap something on the road. There's a lot of folks out there doing hair, and they're doing it all right,
Exactly.
And many of them don't have the training. Tell us about your training.
Well, actually, I have been a stylist since 1991. Graduated from Lee School of Cosmetology. I'm originally from the Little Rock, Arkansas area.
No kidding.
Yeah, you can hear my accent. But I'm from Arkansas, and I moved here. But I've always, I believe in product knowledge. You have to use great products too. Yes. I mean, I found that you're going to see a different outcome of your style. You can even see, like Miss Rosie. That's one of my. She comes every week.
Yeah, she does. And she's adorable. Hey, Miss Rosie, if you're out there listening, we want to give you a shout out.
Her hair is so thick and full because everybody thinks that, like that. She look like she has a wig on, but that's her hair.
That's right.
But I love New Expressions. Is one of my products that I absolutely love. New Expressions. Straight Request. I just like to use products that are professional products, something they can't go into Sally's or wherever and just pick it up. And,
right.
Because you can't guarantee anything like that. I'm a professional. Exactly. That's what I went to school for. I'm a hair doctor.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I take pride in what I do.
That's right. And we actually are now carrying a line in our salon
the
that
collagen.
Is filled with collagen and the use. Well, you've already started using this on your clients and you've seen the difference.
It's a big difference. And it's just like our skin. Collagen is good. Like you say, with age, I'm getting ready to be 56 years old. I notice my skin is getting drier and drier, but I take collagen now.
Yes.
And now they have products out with it for your hair.
Right.
And it helps with the dry and the brittleness and all of that stuff. And collagen is really great. And hey, I use it on my wigs too.
Yes.
Got to keep those girls looking glamorous as well.
And you, for the most part, you deal with human hair.
Human virgin hair.
Raw
hair, virgin hair. All of that. And it's just, it was a game changer for me. I used to, use the Remy out of the stores. There are certain times or, it just depends on what that customer wants.
Yes. And that's the thing that's so nice is that it can be customized specifically to you. Now, there's a device called a cranial prosthesis. And this is also something that we are in a position we are able to offer. It requires a doctor's order. Yes. And so that's where I'm involved in it, to actually certify that there is hair loss that's permanent. Alopecia is what we call that. And once that is certified, many times insurance companies will actually cover some, if not all of the cost for that. But tell our audience about a cranial prosthesis.
Well, cranial prosthesis, those they have this. That's a really, really big industry right now. It's an objective other than doing the hair transplant, which I can't see. I'd rather go with the cranial prosthesis because that's something that's I just like the fact that I'm not having to get cut or anything like that. But it is you getting specific measurements. It fits your scalp, and then too they have it where they have skin injected. The monolay, it's like a very thin skin. Technology has gotten really, really good too because they have a new one out. where it's like the scalp is the hair is injected into the base of that unit of the system that's going to be on your head. And you can the colors, whatever color you want, the density, it's just a whole lot of stuff. And that you can wear that probably for up to 2 months, or if not, maybe less. It just depends on how you want to rock it. Yeah, and care for it. But you will come into the salon and we will style your hair as if you were a regular client coming in, every week or every 2 weeks to get your hair done.
And so how does the cranial prosthesis attached?
Well, you're going to use a medical adhesive for one of them. They got different ones out, but you use a medical adhesive, and you would actually take measurements of the patient's, their scalp, the perimeters of their head.
Right.
And if they want, like on the left portion of their hair, they wanted a few strips of blonde hair, we can customize that unit to whatever they want.
Right.
If you want a free part. But one thing about the cranial prosthesis, it just looks like scalp all over the head. There's not any lumps or bumps or anything like that. It's just like skin.
So it is as if that is your head of hair. And nobody else can wear that. It just fits you.
It's gonna fit you. It's customized to fit your head.
Wow, that I mean that's so exciting.
It is.
And for those of you out there who have lost your hair, and or you maybe have a little peach fuzz, but not much really. You very well may be a candidate for cranial prosthesis, which is it's just a higher and more sophisticated wig. Honestly, but this is something that is customized to the
They're
point.
Very luxurious.
Yes,
they really are.
That you can't tell.
And you don't take them off every day. It's attached. It's like it's part of you, and you rock it however you want to. If you want to go swimming, go swimming. You can do a lot of different things, and they have the different various types of hair out as well too. They have Remy, European. It's a lot to it. You just have to sit down and just figure out what that patient, what they want.
Right,
or the customer, whatever they want to, how they want to rock it, or what their daily activities are.
Well, it sounds so complicated because it's so customized, and so two people can have cranial prosthesis and they look completely different. And when you have that hair, I know you have seen how it has elevated the self-esteem.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just changes everything.
And I love it when I turn them around, and it's definitely an ego booster. And it's just when you turn them around that mirror and the smile that's on their face, it just lets me know that my job is complete.
Yes.
I feel them.
And the good news is that we're not going anywhere. So you can come back, we're going to take care of it.
She owns the building. She owns the building.
You're not going anywhere where, because how many of y'all have gone to a hairstylist and then, you come back the next time and they're gone,
They didn't pay that booth rent.
And they're gone. You can't find them anywhere. And we are joined by the fabulous CJ in the house.
Happy Friday.
Yes. I mean, that's one of the problems that most women, you hear it a lot with women. They say, do you have a good hairstylist? Where do you go get your hair, girl? Because, they come and go.
They do.
And then they chair hop on their own. So you have to stay committed to the project.
Right. See, Miss Brenda's not going anywhere. She's here with us. You can count on her.
That's right. I'm in this for the long haul. Exactly.
It really makes a difference.
I was, when I left home and I moved here to Houston, I was hearing stories of the news. I guess this is a new thing, but they're saying a lot of salons, stylists want you to come with your hair already shampooed. I'm like, wait a minute. But when are you going to treat the client's hair? I mean, I don't understand that. I mean, I want to do it from start to finish.
Because they didn't have the shampoo bowl at the house in the kitchen.
So they try to get you to do it, right?
Yeah, they want to knock off a few dollars. So,
And then what shampoo are they using?
Right.
We only want to use the very best.
No Head and Shoulders.
No, none of that. No shade on Head and Shoulders. Okay, so if any of y'all that work for Head and Shoulders, don't write really letters. But we're just looking for a certain level. Of quality for the products. And we only use the very, very, very best. We spend time making sure that these products are appropriate for the people that come through. And dryness is a big issue, brittle, dry hair. And also, telling the client to wash their hair at home, you treat their scalp.
Exactly.
And there's some deep cleans that you do to get all that sebum off the scalp, So we want to take care of you from, the whole process. Me doing an evaluation. You don't have to see me if you don't want to. If you just want to come and get your hair shampooed and, blow dried and cut style, that's fine too.
We'll do it.
We'll do that too. But we want you to know that whatever the need is that you have, except for braids. You know,
Right.
we definitely are in a position to offer that to you. It's a stable salon. It's not going anywhere, and there's some wonderful things that you can get out of this, and the value in terms of your self-esteem is what's really really important.
That's a really big issue. A lot of women, I've had one that I felt sorry for. You know, she finally had told her husband, and he left her.
Yeah.
After she told him that she didn't have any hair, and she had
And
lost her hair. He left.
Wow.
So
well,
Good
probably good for her more than good for him. Well, we are going to take a break. Miss Britt, I want you to hang around with us for our second half of the show, but we're going to take a break. And when we do, we're going to talk about a lot more things. Again, that number to the hair salon is 936-235-4247. We'll be back in just a moment.
More I get, more I want. More I get, more I want. More I get, more I want.
This is Bill Russell at Bayway Chevrolet and the Bayway Auto Group. My new office is 5719 Broadway in Pearland. You can exit 518 off of Trade 8. I now have a bigger checkbook so I can pay even more for your trade. This could sometimes mean you will walk away not upside down. I also have a lot of huge rebates so I can help you with your down payment or put cash money in your pocket. Now that Mrs. Collins and Bill Russell has joined the Bayway Auto Group, you have access to even more brand. You choose the vehicle. Nobody else has more power to get you exactly the monthly payment you want or the power to pay you more for your trade-in. Huge rebates and even get cash back in your pocket. Car buying just got easier. Don't drive all over town to get jacked around. Call 281-485-1495. Again, call Bill Russell at 281-485-1495. That's Bayway Chevrolet in Pearland, 281-485-1495. To get huge rebates, cash back, and drive any type of vehicle you want. Call Houston's College and Bill Russell now. Come get what you want.
Call Houston Car Legend Bill Russell at 281-485-1495 at Bayway Chevrolet.
Hello, this is Fred Hoyer coming to you for Bayway Cadillac Southwest, the newest member of the Bayway Auto Group, where service is king. Located at 10150 Southwest Freeway. That's 10150 Southwest Freeway. Phone number 713-777-7151. That's 713-777-7151. Call Lakia Harris today and experience the Bayway way. Let Lakia Harris make it happen for you at Bayway Cadillac Southwest. So call Lakia at 713-777-7151. That's 713-777-7151. Bayway Cadillac Southwest, the newest addition to the Bayway family. Call Lakia Harris today for great service and great sales at Bayway Cadillac Southwest. 713-777-7151.
Good credit, bad credit. Call Lakia Harris at Bayway Cadillac Southwest. 713-777-7151. Bayway Cadillac Southwest, the largest Cadillac dealer in the state.
Saturday, we're taking you back with Kerry Lewis on Inside Tracks. Soulful, funky, rhythm and blues, disco, doo-wop, rock and roll, new jack swing, and everything in between. Inside Tracks has all the classics for you, and even those forgotten gems too. So join Kerry Lewis on Inside Tracks every Saturday afternoon, beginning at 2 p.m.
Good old Teddy Pendergrass.
Don't hurt him, Teddy.
Ooh, my goodness. Y'all know I love me some Teddy P.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. He had a nice head of hair too.
Yes, he did.
You know,
very good looking man.
Good looking man. And so, you know, you brothers out there that are looking so delicious, except for one small thing, your hair is missing. You need to call us because, you know, for guys, there's a lot we could do. And it's amazing when you see the before and the afters of men when they get those hair installs, you know, it changes the way they look in such a way. And, you know, they just get a little swagger to their walk. You know, they start feeling really good about themselves because, you know, literally when you look at a guy who is losing his hair, especially like around the top, and that's that male pattern baldness, and then you put an install on there, they literally look younger.
They do.
I mean, it's like amazing how much younger they look. And
it does. It took like 10 years off my child. I mean, my son.
Yes,
I mean,
I've seen him. I've seen him before and after. And then you had him get like a little cut to like a fade on the side.
A tight fade on the sides and just a low cut. And now he's experimenting. Now he's rocked a bob. And, you know, he's just different.
Just doing all kinds of things.
His ego is through the roof now. So,
yes. Well, listen, if you guys, especially you men out there, if you're wanting to explore doing something about that hair loss at the top of your scalp, this is a full service salon. We're going to take a look at your hair loss and see what we can do to help you grow that hair back. And believe me, that PRP, you know, those injections in the scalp with using exosomes and ozone, that really does work. It really, if you've got follicles, they're just sitting there, just waiting for somebody to feed them like little birds in a nest, you know? And when you put that in there, they start growing. Now, it's going to take a minute because, you know, hair grows very, very slowly, but it will grow.
It will grow.
And, you know, if that's what you want, that's what we can do. In the meantime, we can also put an install over that bald area so that you immediately have a different look and you just look so much better. So again, men and women, and also kids, you know, young kids that are struggling with hair loss, whether it's because of like what you went through or an illness like cancer, you know, kids lose their hair. We can help them with that because it's just devastating.
It is.
When that hair comes out. People just, you know, they pick at kids, they're mean, and you feel like a outcast.
And that is definitely something that I'm looking to get into too, because there are a lot of children, and I just you know, I just hate to see the babies.
I
like
know.
that.
Well, you have such a big heart, you know,
Thank you.
That's a good thing. You know, we all have big hearts around here. We care. That's why we do this, because we understand just how important, you know, hair is, not only to the way you look, but to the way you feel. So again, the number to the hair salon is 936-235-HAIR, HAIR, and those numbers are 4247. So again, I'm going to give it to you again, 936-235-4247. And as I mentioned in the first half of the show, we're joined by the fabulous CJ. She's here with us today, and we are so glad to have her here.
It's always great to be here.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And you know what? You have experience with hair care. You are a cosmetologist.
Yes, since 1988, Booker T. Washington High School.
Right.
The only black high school. No, I'm just playing. The first black high school in Houston, Booker T. Washington, class of 89. I got my license as a junior.
Really? I thought you were going to say when you were in kindergarten.
No, well, you know, actually, I started braiding hair when I was about 11 to 12 years old.
Did you really?
I was weaving hair as a young girl, 14 years old. So that was my first career.
Yes.
And when I was in college, it was still my career. And actually, I made more money doing hair after I finished college. So
really?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So
well, it's something that we all need. You know, you need something, you know, you need some kind of care for your scalp and your hair. And so you certainly understand. You've helped people with their hair.
Definitely.
And you've seen the salon.
Yes. And I still have people that ask me about hair care.
Yeah.
So I might be at a booth in your office soon.
I've been
come
all
on
down.
And that's one thing about it. When you have a passion for it, it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. You just love it.
I finished some other things, accomplished some other goals, but I still love doing hair. And I still have people
ask
my personal, you know.
Well, because when you cultivate a relationship with somebody, you know how it is in the salon. You talk about all your personal
everything.
business, you know?
Who can you trust? You can't go from chair to chair.
Exactly. But you trust your hairstylist, you know, and so that's a relationship, and you want to maintain that.
Yes.
So that's why, you know, I want people to know that this isn't some fly by night thing. You know, we're going to be gone next week. You know.
Well, what they need to know is Dr. King owns the building. She can't close the building down.
Not going anywhere. This is my building, my property, and I'm committed to this.
The style is up and move,
Yes,
but the good thing about having Dr. King is that she offers the PRP.
Yes.
And the injections. And I've worked in the industry for a long time, and it's something I've been interested in. I know since like 2016, trying to get doctors involved with the PRP injections and renewing these ladies and men now, because as you said earlier, Brenda, I've seen a lot of the men with the I don't know what's the exact name we're using for the men.
The installs.
They're just saying installs.
They call them man weaves.
Okay. I know there's something else. I don't want to go there. But I've seen the guys come in the barbershop and leave out real fine with it. So I think that the guys should get more confident about trying those things.
They're wearing the beards now too. So.
Yes,
it. But it's all good. It's the appearance and how you look.
Exactly.
It's really how you carry yourself. I had a guy say that before. Different sizes of women. He said, I don't care what size they are, as long as they're confident.
Exactly.
And that matters.
That's right. That air of when you get that install, get that man weave, it boosts your confidence.
Oh yeah.
You put a little cologne on, and it's over.
The good cologne,
the good kind. The good kind. Get a nice outfit, and you have women running you down.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is it's worth it. And it just, it's just something that I want men to really understand is out there for them, and also women as well. Women, we're used to it, getting stuff done, but I want to encourage men to call too. So one last time, the number to the hair salon is 936-235-4247. Again, that number is 936-235-4247. Now, on the subject of changing your appearance, changing how you feel, I want to move into bioidentical hormone replacement.
That's great. I was just on the phone with my cousin on the way in.
Were
I
you?
need another video. She's talking about all the hot flashes and how she's feeling.
Yes.
I just got my 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. Better.
I just took the bandage off. I want to make sure they
but
I feel so good. Thank you, Dr. King. I feel great.
Amazing. And I'm getting quite a number of people coming to my office who are hearing about this on the radio show. A lot of times doctors don't talk about hormone replacement because they don't understand it. And so I've literally had patients come to me because of their symptoms to get hormone replacement, and they'll tell me that their doctor has literally told them, oh, you don't need that. You don't need that. What they're really saying is, I don't know how to do that. And so rather than admit that, because doctors have such big egos, they don't ever want to be out of the know or wrong. They just tell you that you don't need it, when in fact, the benefits of bioidentical hormone replacement is off the chain. So let me talk a little bit about that, because just about everybody, and I'd say just about, because not everybody, but just about everybody would benefit from hormone replacement, certainly by the time they're 50, especially the women. Now, here's what happens. By the time you turn 30, your hormone levels start to drop. And by the way, if you have a question about this topic, please call us. The number is 713-668-1230. Again, that's 713-668-1230. Okay, by the time you turn 30, your hormone levels start to drop. Now, just a little bit. You don't feel it. You don't realize what's going on, but it's starting to drop little bit by little bit. Your testosterone level, estrogen levels. The testosterone is made in men in their testicles. In women, the testosterone and the estradiol and progesterone is made from their ovaries. Those are the organs that make these, and they start to fail. But it's not obvious at all. It just keeps going down. And by the time you're in your late 40s, your early 50s, you kind of start feeling a little something, whether it's your sexual performance starts to kind of it's a little harder, to do what you used to do in the time that you used to do it. You may have a lack of interest, whereas in the past, I have guys tell me if a stiff wind came by, they had an erection, it was just that fast. And then all of a sudden now, they can have a tsunami go by and nothing. Wake up. Exactly. And it's like nothing. And they're like, what happened? Why is this not the same? Their moods change. They get a little irritable. They don't sleep very well. Hot flashes, anxiety, feeling like you don't quite know what's going on, like you're overwhelmed.
So we call it grouchy.
Yep, grouchy, grouchy, irritable, pissy, just really difficult. Of course, we're not talking about you, Chatterbox. Of course, you are just wonderful. I know, wait, who, baby? That's like, no, baby, you're all that. But Now that irritability, things piss you off that used to not bother you. That feeling like you walk into a room and you were going to do something, but you can't remember what you were going to do. And you're looking all around, trying to remember, trying to play it off, especially if there's people around, like, oh yeah, just walk out and come back in, all of that. That has a lot to do with hormone deficiency. And when we replace those hormones, that gets a lot better. And for men, what we do is we measure your blood. We need to know what your hormone levels are, in particular your testosterone. And then we give you hormone pellets. And these pellets are what we call bioidentical. That means that they look just like the testosterone that your body used to make. They're not synthetic. The shots are synthetic. When you take those testosterone shots, those are synthetic. But these are bioidentical. That means that they look just like what your body used to make. So if they were going to cause you trouble, then the hormones that your body made would have caused you trouble. So they're not going to. Right. Perfectly safe. And in guys, once we calculate how much you need, we put this in your body right under your skin. We do it on your backside, on your hip. So nobody knows it's there. It's quick. It takes about 10 minutes. It's painless. And these hormones will last you for about 6 months, which is pretty good. You don't have to do anything, just let the hormones slowly get into your bloodstream. For women, depending upon where they are in their reproductive life, we will give them testosterone and or estrogen. If they're in full menopause where they're no longer making estrogen, no longer having periods, then we'll give them testosterone and estrogen. And that really helps their symptoms, the hot flashes, the irritability, the moodiness, all of that. It just gets so much better. The way we start out is, of course, doing a history and a physical, but then we draw your blood, check your levels, because we need to know where you're at. We don't know how to get you where you need to be if we don't know where you're starting. And that's the blood work that we collect. And then once we do that, we know what you need. Then we just schedule an appointment and have you come in the office, and it takes about 10 minutes. It's simple, painless. And for women, their hormones will last them about 4 months. We don't give them as much testosterone as men because we don't want them to turn into men. Okay, we're not trying to do all that, So we're not trying to do that. We want to just get their levels back up to where they were when they were younger. And they feel better, they sleep better, they have more energy, their sex drive goes up. A lot of women want to be sexual with their husbands, but they just don't feel like it. They've lost that, that drive. And this helps them get that back. Very, very safe. These hormones, again, are bioidentical. So they look just like the hormones your body made. So if they were going to cause you trouble, you'd already had it because they look just like the hormones that your ovaries made when you were younger. And the cost, and that's the thing that people always want to know about. Unfortunately, insurance does not pay for bioidentical hormone replacement. If you have insurance, we can usually use your insurance for your lab tests. Okay. We just simply send your blood to the lab with the insurance information, and they bill your insurance company and take care of that. On our side, the cost is about $100 a month. And for women, that comes to $399. So that's what you would pay. For men, it depends on men on how much testosterone they need. There's 2 different price levels. I think it starts at like $725 and the highest is $775. But again, we're talking about 6 months. So it's not like you got to come back next month and do this again. 6 months that you're going to be feeling great, half a year. Right. Now, about 6 weeks after we put the hormones in, we're going to want you to come back so we can measure your levels and just see how well you responded. And this, again, is a blood test. So this goes through your insurance if you have insurance. And if you don't, we have a very, very low price cut for people who are paying out of pocket. So it's very, very affordable. But man, when I tell you the difference in how you're going to feel, that's the real benefit. And a lot of times people feel better and don't realize it until the hormones start to wear off. And then they realize, oh, snap. Exactly.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh, yeah. Because, it's that going up. It's like, you enjoy it, you're good, but you're like, I don't know if I feel any different. Let them hormones wear off. And you'll see exactly what happens. It's all downhill. And that's when you realize, ooh, golly. Because, when I tell folks about the hormones, it's like, listen, let me just be real with you. You're not going to turn into Chuckles the Clown and start swinging on a pole, okay? It's not like that, all right? That's not going to happen. But what will happen is that you're going to feel better. The world will turn from gray to green. That's one of the best ways that I've been able to describe it. You just feel good. You have an optimism about life. You know, it's not like you're just suffering through life. You're happy. You've got energy. You're optimistic. It's positive. And so if you have any interest in hormone replacement and you want to simply know where your levels are, you need to just call the office and speak to Ms. Sherry or Ms. Mady, and they will get you on the schedule. We can get some lab testing done on you because I can't give you anything without knowing where your levels are. And again, if you have health insurance, we can just let the lab bill your insurance for that. And, the office visit is very nominal. And that way we can get you seen, take a history, just get some information for you. But I can't even begin to tell you how amazing you're going to feel when you have those hormones in your system. I mean, I've been getting them now for, probably 7 or 8 years, and I'll never be without them if I can help it. I'll be 95 years old coming in there and having somebody stick them hormones in my butt.
Yes. And you'll be seeing my butt.
Yeah, okay. Your butt will be right next to mine. Because once you get them, you realize. And, I'm taking the time to spend a little moment on this because what I find, my practice is a big, broad practice. I take care of people of all backgrounds, all ethnicities. And I find that the minority community has not really been informed about the hormones the way that they should be. And I don't want them to miss out on this because there's so many amazing health benefits. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's go to our phone lines. We have our next caller. Hey, caller, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. I just want to kind of get off a little. I just want to ask a question.
Sure.
Okay. Now, I've heard you discuss this before. This is not about what you're talking about now, but I'm just trying to get the right name for it. I can't even say it. I hope you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because you said that you take this every day. Is it Reservador?
Are you talking about Arterisol?
Yes. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, Arterisol. Yes.
Okay, can you spell that for me, please?
Yes. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's A is in apple, R is in rabbit, T is in Tom, E is in egg, R is in rabbit, O is in oxygen, S as in Sally, I as in, I don't know what is I stand for. Igloo. And then L is in Larry.
Yeah. Okay, can I repeat it back to you?
Yes.
Okay, ARTERBOSIL.
No, it's OSIL. O is in oxygen.
Okay, wait a minute. ARTER
SIL.
OSIL.
That's it.
Okay, because when I was at the doctor's office, I was trying to tell him what I was saying. He didn't know what I was saying.
He didn't know what you're talking about, huh? Okay.
Yeah, but he gonna know this time.
Yes. It is a great supplement. And all he's got to do is Google. There's more and more research out now about Arterisol. It's really becoming more and more mainstream. The problem with some of these supplements that are so helpful is that because they're not linked to the pharmaceutical industry, there isn't that big marketing campaign behind the drug, so that every doctor's office is getting flooded with these drug reps that, are wearing high heel shoes and little shirts, low cut shirts, and coming in with cookies and trying to, get the doctor to write the script, and bat their eyes at them. Oh, child, please. I've been there, done that. I know how that works, and free samples, and hey, we're going to take you out to Kirby's Steakhouse, and we go, and get you some free wine, all you got to do is write this new drug, and, all that marketing campaign that goes behind these drugs that are manufactured by pharmaceutical companies. That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's how it works, but a drug like Arterisol, this is a manufactured privately, and they don't have that kind of money. But what they do have is the research. The studies have clearly shown the positive benefits of Arterisol on the what we call glycocalyx. That is the lining of your blood vessels. Okay, because see, all the trouble starts in the lining. When you get clogged up with cholesterol and plaque and debris, some of that snatch kind of breaks off and travels down into a deeper part of your circulatory system, and boom, you've got a stroke. You've got a cutoff. And so that's what's so important about Arterisol. It's fabulous, but it is a supplement. It's made out of seaweed from Japan. So it's an unusual type thing, but they have found that this thing absolutely works. And here's the other beautiful part about it. You don't have to hear all the disclaimers with arteriocel, the way you have, your eyeballs aren't going to fall out. You're not going to lose all your hair. You're not going to have a sex change. Your stomach not going to start vomiting and having diarrhea. Don't you love that? I mean, they tell you on this commercial about how fabulous this drug is. They got people dancing in the park and everybody's happy, eating, and then they say at the very end, and call your doctor if if you start peeing blood, you got bruising all over, your eyeballs start falling out. It's crazy. You're not going to see those kind of disclaimers with arteriocel. It's a supplement and it works beautifully. So yes, please do talk with your doctor about it. And you can also purchase it from my office. We have it online at my store. That's the drwinnieKingstore.com. And I think my price is actually probably about the cheapest because I offer a 10% discounted free shipping. And so you might want to check that out as well. I've seen it in other places, but I reduce the price because I want people to get it. And I just take it every day. Just take it every day.
Well, can you give me your number again?
Sure. The number to my office is 936 224 7990.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for calling in.
Okay.
All right. You take care.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Bye-bye. That's great. I love it when people get information from the show and then take it back to their doctors, because sometimes that's how the doctors learn, because like I said, you don't have those little, cutesy pie drug reps coming to the office trying to seduce the doctors into writing these prescriptions. And I mean, I'm being facetious, but I'm not, because
I've seen how they look.
That's what they
what
do.
you selling?
Yeah, exactly. I know exactly. Tell me. I mean, and I'll tell you a short story. We're almost out of time, but back many years ago, I was working at another place in Florida. And there was a rep that used to come in and try to get me to write the prescriptions for this drug called Vioxx, which was an anti-inflammatory painkiller. And the thing with Vioxx is that it worked very, very well, but it was extremely expensive. And it didn't seem to me to work any better than anything that you could buy over the counter, or other prescriptions that were, not overly expensive. And so I wouldn't write for it. And this guy got so frustrated with me. He used to come to my office because we were seeing a lot of people, and had I switched over to writing this prescription, he would have made a lot of money because it would have really helped him hit his quota, but I just wouldn't do it. And so he just kept coming and calling on me, Dr. King, why don't you write this drug? And I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling it, Plus, I'm not real big on new drugs, because honestly, I feel like the real test happens when they release these drugs on the public, and because that's why do you keep hearing all of these commercials on TV for these lawyers representing people? Did you take this drug? Like, I thought they tested this before they released it to you. Why is there now a big recall? And, so I don't tend to do that. I'm a little bit more conservative.
Very conservative. I can say that.
And I just want to make sure it's safe. And I remember one day I was reading some journal articles and I saw an article about this drug, and that there had been a study that showed that there was an increased risk of heart attacks with this drug. I'm like, what? So when I came back in the office and this guy came in on me again, calling on me to try to write the drug, I said, have you seen this article about this risk for heart disease and having a heart attack? And he's like, no, I haven't seen that, but I'm sure that's just one of those small studies, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you, about a month later, it hit the FDA that there was a cardiovascular risk with this drug. And they literally pulled the drug off the market in one day. And people were dropping dead, having heart attacks from this drug. And they took it off the market so fast, they didn't even have enough time to tell the reps. And so he came to my office once again, with his cookies, trying to get me to write this. And I'm looking at him like, man, do you know this drug is gone? And he's like, gone? And all the color came out of his face. And I'm telling you, I never saw him again. He ran out of my office. But I was not going to put that on my patients. You just have to be very, very careful. Now, in the last few seconds that we have here on the show, I want to tell you to save the date, ladies and gentlemen. Save the date.
Save the date.
For the first annual Black Music Awards ceremony here in Houston, okay? The first annual Black Music Awards here in Houston. Yes, it's going to be on June 11th. Okay, June 11th at the Ensemble Theater, and it's going to be fabulous. I'm going to be there. CJ is going to be there. Chatterbox, yes, and we're bringing Hollywood with us.
Yes.
So it's going to be all that. Remember, please save the date. The first annual Black Music Awards, June 11th at the Ensemble Theater, and tickets will be available soon.
Yes, you can go online, actually.
Yeah.
Black Music Awards Houston.com.
Okay.
The early bird tickets are already on sale.
All right, Black Music
Awards Houston.com.
Black Music Awards Houston.com. Get your early bird tickets. You're going to want to be there. That's going to be a hot ticket. Everybody's going to want to.
Legends.
Yes, I've heard. I'm so excited. So that's another exciting thing to look forward to, June 11th. Now, I want to thank you, Miss Brenda, for being here on the show. You were awesome.
Thank you.
And I hope that you listeners out there understand that you've got a great resource in Miss Brenda, and she can really turn your life around. That number again to the hair salon is 936-235-4247. Thank you, Mr. Chatterbox, for your presence here today. We love having you with us as well. You guys be safe, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.